So in the last hour or so, we spoke with Leslie Farkas, who's a vendor who's really out about 30 grand right now because of the Roxodus Festival. He clearly is not the only one. There currently is an investigation ongoing about this canceled festival. No charges yet because they've just started this investigation. But it got us thinking, you know, about the bigger picture. This isn't sort of the first time we've heard about a big event like this being canceled, especially one that was touted as being going to be one of the best in the world.
Well, they all do that, right? They have to hype themselves up. They've got to promote it. So, of course, they want to set the bar as high as possible. But, you know, it would seem to me that if you're going to put a music festival on today in the shadow of the Fyre Festival debacle, and we're not necessarily comparing the two, but if you're going to, at the top of your list of things you want to do is don't be like the Fyre Festival.
Right. No, I mean, and that documentary just came out last year, and that is like just the absolute pinnacle of like all hype and no substance to support the festival as well. And as I mentioned before, we've probably all been to music festivals. A lot of us have.
Just got back from one. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty well run.
And I've seen, so my husband is primarily a music photographer, and he's traveled around doing a lot of festivals, and I've gone to some of them with him. And the infrastructure and everything in place, like, even the safety training that he has to go through, just being on some of the rigging and things like that. There's so much that goes into these things. So why, like you said, why wouldn't there be a checklist? Do we have all these things? And then weather's another huge factor.
You know, it is a huge factor. And I want to bring up a board we have of some festivals that have not worked out very well. And a large number of these festivals were because of weather.
Right.
When you go through them, if we could put up the board. Now we know Fyre Festival was not one of those, but I'll point out some that were. Woodstock in '99, for example.
The mud.
Big problem with the heat, and they didn't tell people to bring their enough water, so they were charging people, what, $4 per water bottle or something. Overcrowding at the Block Festival, that was in 2012. Wind, rain, tents were submerged, that was at the Bestival in 2008. And then, you know, the Powder Ridge Rock Festival, I want to point out.
We went way back for that
We went way back to 1970 because this was, you know, after the hype of Woodstock and the success of Woodstock, like, okay, well, we're going to throw our own. This was in Middlefield. So 1 month before the festival, the town decided not to approve the application for the festival.
Oh, wow.
But at that time, of course, no social media. How do you communicate that to all of the people that bought tickets? So 30,000 people showed up. 30,000 people showed up, and there was nothing there for them. When you talk about infrastructure, there wasn't anything there.
Oh, absolutely.
I have to wonder, taking the bad weather out of it, I've got to wonder how many of these festivals that do encounter problems are due to people who decide to jump in with both feet to the festival business with no prior experience.
100%.
I would think so, too.
Problem. Yeah.
And, you know, empty promises. I mean, you look at the cost of some of these tickets that, you know, for those that have bought tickets to Roxodus, they're still sort of waiting to get their money. I mean, look at some of the prices that we've got.
This is a lot of money. This is a lot of money to kind of invest in. People probably make sure they have the time off work or have the availability, travel, things like that. It's a lot.
I mean, it's a deal if you compare it to OVO Fest.
Well,
that's a whole other thing.
That's
right?
another story. But,
but yeah, and then all the people that are out. You were talking about there was one woman who was with the potatoes.
Yes, I read about a woman who, you know, with the entrepreneurial spirit behind her, she bought thousands of pounds of potatoes, and she was going to spiralize them and deep fry them on sticks, and she was going to be selling these at the festival. There is no festival, but she is now the proud owner of thousands of pounds of potatoes, and she doesn't know what to do.
Ripple effect, right?
I like potatoes.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.